Discover the hidden gems and pristine waters of Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Conveniently located throughout Tennessee, there's a signature lake near you, covering all regions of the volunteer state, all endorsed by the legendary Bill Dance himself. Whether it's a weekend getaway or an extended vacation, create timeless memories at Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Plan your trip today.
Hey everybody, this is Steve Owens, one of your tournament directors with the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series. We are in Blairsville, Georgia for the season ender. This is so crooked hat here. We're for the season ender for the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series, our 8th event on Nottley Lake or Lake Nottley. We've had a very, very, very successful season. This is our best attendance average so far in our, I believe this is our, we had an open championship, and then I think we had 2 open championships. So this will be our 4th trail season. We had Angler of the Years of Tom Kazmierski, Joseph Gayton, Jeremy Meadows. And right now this year, the Carl Black Chevrolet of Kennesaw Angler of the Year race is pretty tight. I'll just go ahead and run down that just a little bit. Both Joseph Gayton and Josh Choi have a 245 to cull. So what we do is we go 250 for first place and then 1 point deduction after that. So Joseph is leading the top 4 events so far this season with a 994. Josh Choi has a 991. Eric Hawks has a 991. Nick Dyer is in 4th place with 980. We got Tom Kazmierski in 5th place with 975. So there's a lot of math that goes on right there to see who can stop Joseph from being a repeat Carl Black Chevrolet Kennesaw Angler of the Year. So right now in this event, we've probably got about an hour and 15 minutes left for registration. We've got 25 anglers in it. Nottley's not a real publicized lake. We added it to this year's schedule to give us something that hasn't been fished. It's a blueback herring lake. I guess you'd call it Highland Reservoir, so to speak. But what we're about is just fishing against one another and just seeing who can muster the best overall limit for a one-day shootout. So appreciate all of you traveling up here. I know it seems like a long season, and shoot me a message. Something I've been looking at in Tennessee Bass Nation, Sassy Dan and I, we start out on Del Hollow in December. We always go to Seminole in like January or February. Looking at doing a December tournament for Georgia. What that'll allow us to do is get a tournament out of the way. There's a lot of really, really good lakes in Georgia that fish well in the cold winter months. Like Lanier, Chattooga, and a few other ones, And so a lot of you mentioned putting in like the managed lakes like Rocky and a few others. I'll think about that. I probably won't do it next year just because I really don't. I don't know. I would prefer us all to be able to fish on the same body of water, just because, there's a lot of areas that you fish. If you're on a different body of water, let's just take, for instance, Seminole. Seminole's got 24, 25-inch largemouth. Allatoona probably doesn't. There's probably a few, but there's a lot more on Seminole. So, don't really want to start getting into fishing different waters. I know rivers we fish different, but rivers are kind of a different animal, and looking to expand and grow that river event that we do next year. So keep giving me your input. Shoot me a text message. I'm open to anything. Rivers are new to me, but I really, really am starting to enjoy them. So, but as far as lakes go, we'll have your traditional heavy hitters. We're going to bring Hartwell back in. Looking at adding Oconee, probably Oconee in April-ish. We're going to go to Hartwell in March, probably. But be thinking about the December tournament. If we can go to, like, say, a place like Lanier, and the championship be on Lanier at the end of 2026, then December gets us an event out of the way, off the schedule, and then we've got a lot of flexibility throughout the rest of the season with So many tournament series and calendar weekends spoken for already. I read off to you the Carl Black Chevrolet of Kennesaw Angler of the Year standings. I want to give another huge shout out to Dugout Bait and Tackle for taking care of what we need this year. We have Precision Hardwood. My son's flooring company stepped in to help us pay for checks and trophies and stuff this year. We've got a lot of support from some really good companies. And so whenever you see those, whenever you do your own tournament recap, if you wouldn't mind, please comment, hashtag them, the whole 9 yards, so that we can continue to get that support for them. Looking for new sponsors for next year. I'm trying to get a Big Bass hourly sponsor. Want to try to do $50 an hour. So you can do the math on that. So we've got 8 events and then a 2-day championship. So that's 10 days at 8 hours a day. So that's 80. And if we want to do $50, that's $4,000 we need to raise for you guys. So just to put that kind of stuff in perspective, I would like to do the $50 per hour and then add $100 to the Big Bass pot as well. So we're looking at, $5,000 in order to be able to pay that out. And so that's not easy to get. We don't have that right now, but I feel like with what you've all done this year, with the support and our attendance, our social media presence, we've got a new Instagram going. I think those kinds of things really help us do what we need to do. So we want to give a huge shout out to Purple Heart Homes. They've been here all year. You all are donating extra dollars on top of your entry fee to support them, the real heroes, benefiting Purple Heart Homes. And they're sponsoring our state championship, which again is on Lanier the first weekend of October. So we'll go ahead and skip on to our angler briefing for Nottley. So, this weekend should be some pretty good fishing. The weather is going to be pretty decent, a little overcast. I know it's hot out there. I think the lake temps for me today were like 85 degrees. So just getting into some of the rules. It's your responsibility to download the rules and know them in their entirety. Your practice and pre-fishing is over. So your PFD must be worn at all times. If you're putting on a rain jacket or taking it off, you're allowed to take off your PFD and put on your rain jacket and take it back off. But your PFD has to be on top of your rain gear. We need to be able to see it at all times. You need a safety whistle. Your motorized kayaks must be registered and have Coast Guard approved navigation lights before safe light launches. So tomorrow we're going to be launching when it's still kind of dark. So you're going to have navigation lights on the front of your kayak and a 360 watt light on the back if you're motorized. If you're not motorized, then you just have to have a 360 watt light on the back. If you have a motor and you don't have red and green lights, you're allowed to launch so long as you have a 360 watt light, but you can't use your motor until full safe light. And we're just going to call that 7 o'clock. I think about 6:55-ish is cool, but if we just put 7 o'clock on it, then you all know that I've said 7 o'clock and we won't have any reports of anything. No spare motors allowed to be carried. You can't carry parts. You can go back to the ramp and swap out motors if you choose to. We're a 5-fish limit with a 12-inch minimum length. Your identifier code can be written on your hand, an index card, your measuring device, or anything, just so long as it is written on something where we can see all 3 characters of the identifier code. And that identifier code is R Robert, H Harry, Y yellow. So RHY. That can be written on anything. It has to be visible in the pictures so that we can see it. So tomorrow it's a 1-day competition. August 23rd, 2025 is right. So in the morning on Eastern time, we're going to launch at 6:15 a.m. and you've got 30 minutes to make it to your spot before lines in. Lines in is at 6:45. Lines out is at 3 p.m. Fish submission deadline is 4 p.m. and we're going to try to make it back to awards at 4:15 p.m. And the location for that is going to be the Nottley Dam boat ramp. The address is LinkedIn Turning X, but it's the Nottley Dam boat ramp. It's one of about 3 on this lake that you can use. I've reached out, earlier to the pavilions and stuff in the area, and they're all booked up. And we've driven around to the restaurants in the area, and there's just not going to be suitable parking for all of us. So grab yourself something quick to eat, bring yourself something from the gas station in the morning. But we're going to meet at that Nottley Dam boat ramp tomorrow at 4:15 and go ahead and knock awards out. I have the trophies and checks from the Three Rivers Throwdown. If you are able to get one of those, I'm going to have them for you there. Not going to really go over much more on the rules. You've all done this for a long time. I do want to state that it's something that just came up in casual conversation recently with some people on the Bassmaster side, actually. So during practice and tournaments, during official practice, which starts on Monday, your rules are in effect. So, and during the day, you can't drink beer. You just can't. You can't drink beer during tournament hours. You can't hit a vape pen, marijuana. You can't take gummies. I mean, this is real stuff. So it happens. I have heard, not really witnessed it. I witnessed it one time on a Bassmaster, and I addressed it, and that was a long way from here. But on the Bass Nation stuff, I just need to let you truly understand that you just don't be about the bullshit. Don't get high on the water. I'm just telling you. You do that, we've got no room for you. We just don't. So if that's what you choose to do at home, that's totally okay. But you're going to put yourself in a situation where if you were reported to be under the influence on the water, then I'm going to have to call you in for a random that we will pay for. If you deny that, then you've disqualified yourself from this tournament series forever. You're banned from Bass Nation and potentially Bassmaster. So when you're on that water, be sober. Don't have people reporting to me such and such to make me call it into question. I'm not playing. You can do it at home. I have no problem with that. This is America. But when you're in our tournament, you need to act like you've got something about you. So we're not out here. Fishing is fun. We want this tournament trail to be fun. It's a lot of fun. But when you're on that water, you're at work. You're at work. You're fishing for money. You're fishing against other men and women. So you can't play these kind of games that you would do at home. So just be mindful of that. Don't mean to ramble on with it, but I'll drop that. But that's just something that's happened over some of the years that we've heard. But be mindful of all your safety rules. Tomorrow, there are a few tournaments going out across the lake. You all know that it's not a very big place. So be mindful to make certain that you're visible. There's a lot of pleasure boating, a lot of sea-doos on the water. So don't put yourself in a situation that you're not capable of getting in and out of. So that's it. This is our last tournament of the year. We've got the state qualifiers posted, thanks to Sassy Dan. We'll get these updated as quickly as possible. If he's available after line's out and fish submission deadline, if he can get those totals tallied, then we'll go ahead and announce our Carl Black Chevrolet Angler of the Year for Kennesaw, the Kennesaw Company, tomorrow as well. Trophies are on the way from Catch. Due to just production, they're just super busy with all the other business. They tend to send the Angler of the Year trophies whenever they send the state championship trophies. So we'll get that to you guys as soon as possible. But your money's going to be there within the week. So we appreciate all of you. Again, Georgia just continues to grow. We're looking forward to next year. I think so far what I have on the schedule in concrete, I think it's January the 24th is Seminole. First weekend of March is Allatoona at the Mill again. And I'm looking really hard at that December. Looking at the second weekend of December, I think it's the 14th. Looking at that on Lanier or Chatook. So reach out to me and let me know. Again, putting one that early just kind of helps us free up some schedules. So I want to thank you again to Real Heroes, Purple Heart Homes, Carl Black Kennesaw, Tourney X, Sniper Marine for our Big Bass sponsor again for the third year in a row, Dugout Bait and Tackle. We've got Boondocks, One Objective, Precision Hardwood LLC. You see our banner, and we appreciate you supporting those people. Hobie Eyewear has sent me some glasses to give away for AOI and the state championship. We've got a Newport motor coming, working on another battery company for us. trying to work on Seagar. There was some turnover there, so I'm trying to get an established relationship there again. We've got Lodge Skillet that we give away each tournament. The prizes have been a little light this year, but that's the fishing industry, man. It's just really tough right now. So we're grateful for what we get. Hopefully next year we can improve that a little bit because everyone loves going on with just a little bit of swag. But don't forget, to support these sponsors and be sure to go over to dugoutfishing.com. The website is revamped and improved. Reach out to me. We still have several of the Hobie PA 14 and PA 12 180s without the drives for sale at a really, really good price. So thank you guys, and I'll let you go. Reach out to me if you got any questions, and we will see y'all tomorrow at the Nottley Dam boat ramp. So feel free to grab you a bag of pork rinds, some Little Debbie's, and whatever else you want to bring, and just come on over, and we'll get these awards knocked out and hang out for just a little bit. So appreciate all you guys. I want to thank Native Watercraft. I forgot to mention, should be able to go in the next few weeks at our state championship. They're going to give away a good paddle kayak. So that'll be something you're going to want next year for the river tournament that we're going to do. So appreciate you guys. We'll catch up with you in just a little bit. Oh, and by the way, something else I forgot to mention. Head on over to Fishing Chaos. You're going to see I'm part of the Bill Dance Signature Lakes nationwide event, or actually it's the Bill Dance Giant Bass Open Series. So on Fishing Chaos, if you're in the Southeast region, which we are, excluding Florida, Texas, California is in their own bracket, you're going to fish a tournament that's going to run into next year. Every 18-inch bass that you catch and upload, you're going to be entered into the year-end raffle based off of attendance for a boat or a F-150 truck. For every 22-inch bass that you upload, you're going to have a chance to fish a free entry fee tournament for the championship in 2026 for a lot of money. Each month, there are some $100, $200 cash payouts go on to the fish submissions, and it's all based on attendance too. Those numbers are posted on the link. So reach out to me if you got any questions in that. So like I've talked to multiple people the last 3 or 4 weeks that this has been going on. And there's half a dozen or so that I've seen in this area that would have a 22-inch bass to enter themselves into that free championship next year. And to put it in perspective, if we get X amount of numbers, that's $100,000 championship. And we're going to work on how the kayaks fit into that. But right now, all you need to know is that when you upload these fish on there, it's a $45 entry fee for the entire year. When you upload your fish, you're going to be able to take home monthly prizes. You're not going to win $1,000 a month, but there's couple of $100 in there, and you're fishing anyway. So just really appreciate it if you check that out and support that for me. I mean, we are all, huge fans, and we love Dwayne with Tourney X. I don't own this other series, but Fishing Chaos does just a fine job with what they do over there for this as well. There's going to be prizes from Luz and GSM eventually on there as well. So it's just something fun to do. We want to be inclusive with everything that we do. So just please check that out. Reach out to me if you got any questions about it. But without further ado, we're going to wrap this up. Just a huge thank you to Daniel Davis for what he does here in Georgia and Tennessee. Y'all know he's my best bud pal. He's my brother. I love him. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be able to do this all for a living. So thank you to him. Thank you to Dugout Bait and Tackle, Jamie Koza and the family. So y'all catch up with us, and we'll talk to you in just a little bit. Thanks.